So I had mentioned to you a long time ago, I don't expect you to remember, about this thing, this need to always say something out of my mouth. And even if I'm maybe right or onto something, it doesn't come out in love. There's no love in it. It's just critical.
You know, you always say, don't fight with the mothers through court. That's probably like one thing that I have to give a little pushback on.
Okay.
But I understand why you say it, because it really don't bring peace. I'm be honest. I have custody agreements and everything, and she still act like this. So it don't bring peace. So I can understand why you're saying it. But to me, just walking away and not putting up some type of fight for my son as well, that won't bring peace either.
Why not?
I had a couple more, like, real hardcore addictions in life to quit, and I quit them. And, phew, that body pain is something. I mean, it is unreal, Jesse. Now I know why people run from it, because it about drive you crazy. It hurts so bad.
I don't know if I'm judging my dad, and I was like moving out all my stuff yesterday because I'm moving into my apartment now, and he's like trying to give me some type of advice, and I got annoyed, and I told him basically just to be quiet and to not give me any advice, and then I just kind of like shut him down.
Wow, Adrian, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, Jesse Lee. How are you?
All is well. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Hello, everyone. So you know how your old church services, not old, but you're when you play them, you always say, did anybody have a life this week? Did anybody come to share, or you just came to take or learn, right?
Yeah.
So I was calling with a little bit of a testimony I wanted to share with you. So I've called you several times, and you have been amazing to me. You're like a father figure to me as far as I'm concerned. So I had mentioned one time about, well, you have said in the past about us getting things intellectually. And so I just had a real reckoning moment, probably just before I called you. So I had mentioned to you a long time ago, I don't expect you to remember, about this thing, this need to always say something out of my mouth. And even if I'm maybe right or onto something, it doesn't come out in love. There's no love in it. It's just critical. And so the last week I was watching a couple of things, and it was really coming in to me that God really will, the Holy Spirit really will teach you. God really will teach you if we just stay present with him. So today, my stepdaughter came in and she was saying something, and I said something critical again. And it wasn't funny. It wasn't, it was just stupid. And I recognized that the feeling that I get after it, I don't believe, it wasn't like embarrassment, like, oh, I shouldn't have done that because now I'm exposed. It was like a pain, and I felt like that was the Holy Spirit. So then I realized that I had a critical spirit. And so I had to write my mom immediately. All this happened just before I talked to you again, because I can't get in touch with her. I have forgiven her, but this time I was like, I'm sorry for hating you, for always criticizing me. And I realized that was the main thing, and I didn't acknowledge that, and that's why it was still carrying on in my life. And I had to cry about it, but not a cry like I want to reach out to everyone and try to explain. It was like you say, you have to feel the pain of it. And I don't want that anymore, and I see it clearly. I almost want to cry again, not for just because I don't want to lose that. I don't want that. I don't want that spirit in my life. And so I just wanted to say that. And there was a couple of things that happened this week that I think God had set up, that I was like, how come I still don't have that? And so it made me reflect. And I don't feel weird. I just feel like I think this is the beginning of something new.
Amazing.
Hello?
Are you still doing the silent prayer every morning, every night?
Yeah, I do the silent prayer.
Every morning, every night?
Yes.
Every morning, every night?
Every morning, every night. But I think I'm going to get better as I'm doing the silent prayer, because I think when things are removed, you feel a little more secure in your silent prayer. Because while all those things are still going on, even though I'm sitting there and I'm fighting all these thoughts, and I'm like, "Well, God help me." I think this little awakening will make it that much sweeter. I'm not sure, but I hope so. And yes.
And when you say I'm gonna get better, what do you mean about getting better with it?
I mean that it will, because I still think that even when I was doing it, it was this intellectual thing. Like I would feel moments of, okay, I would get like little small revelations, but I think that critical spirit not acknowledging it and not being truthful about it was still blocking, or maybe it was just my thoughts. I don't know. But yeah, it's like more of a desire to want to do it, like not just morning and night, to make sure that maybe somehow God will touch me. I mean, more of a desire because I see that He really will talk with you. He will fellowship with you, and I want that to stay safe. And, in other words, I don't know how to say what I'm saying.
And why are you thinking those things?
I don't know. I got off track. I don't know.
Why are you thinking that it's going to get better and God going to do this and God that? Where are you getting those ideas from?
I guess I'm getting it from my head and I don't realize it.
And why are you believing thoughts when you know now that, well, you've heard me say that all thoughts are all lies all the time about anything?
So do you think it was a thought when I just told you what I told you? Was that from a thought?
About the one where you said that is the silent prayer going to get better, this going to happen?
No, I mean about...
And the Lord going to do this. Where are you getting,
I didn't say it
why are you believing those thoughts?
Maybe because I don't understand them yet, that they're still thoughts. But I'm talking about
you're not convinced
spirit.
Yet that all thoughts are all lies all the time about anything?
No, it's not that I'm not convinced. I just don't understand all the things that are thought. That's why I'm asking you, was I thinking when I felt that conviction about a critical spirit?
It doesn't sound like you were into this, thinking about it. It sounds like it happened, but I don't know for sure. But all this other thoughts that you're getting about this and that and God and all those things are just still thoughts. The devil pretending to be God, showing you those things. God does not operate through. He operates through logical thinking, but not any of those thoughts has nothing to do with God. It's all lies all the time about anything.
Right. Well, I do catch myself like, okay, maybe these are thoughts, so just let it go. And I have asked him, maybe sometimes I don't understand what the let it go means. Like you said, it's not about distracting yourself. It's not about... So maybe the way that I could actually see a real critical spirit, maybe as I keep seeking him, I don't know. All right, so I guess I'm getting into thoughts again?
Yeah.
Okay.
What is a critical, you say a critical spirit?
Yeah.
What's a critical spirit?
It's like, even the gifts that you have, like even if I recognize the truth in certain things, I couldn't, I'm not going to say I couldn't, like I have to give my opinion and then subconsciously acting like, well, pointing out something else to someone else and then throwing a little of, well, I did the same thing, but still constantly pointing out the negative without even, like just so naturally. And I realized that my mom had always done that to me, and that voice has always been there. And I remember hearing people say it in the past, but this time I felt that pain. Like I don't want to be used that way. Not that I don't want to do it. I don't want to allow myself to be used for evil in that way, because there is no peace in that. There's no, suppose I really had something that was valuable to say. You've burned so many people, even if it were valuable, they don't want to hear it. Even if it comes out in the sweetest, softest voice, I burnt so many people that way, where it's like almost they want to put a shield up. And I don't want to take away from that pain. I get it, and I deserve that, but I don't want it anymore. I'm done with it. I'm tired of it. I don't like it, because it's not only do I do it to them, or have I done it to them, I've done 10 times worse to myself.
Yeah, you're doing it. What you do to others, you're doing it to yourself, really, and you're only doing it to others because you're doing it to yourself, and you want others to feel the same misery you feel.
I'm going to tell you, my whole life, because of the situations that I was born into, the voice has always been loud and clear, and I've always identified with it. And sometimes I'm not sure, honestly speaking, even though that's not my heart's desire, I'm not sure if something's really a thought or it's just...
But the voices are the thoughts.
Right. And sometimes I'm able to say, that's a voice I hear. And then I try to compare certain things when I get it, how I got it. And it wasn't that, it just was like, oh, wow. And it wasn't really a thought. It's just like, it just popped in. So I try to
why are you putting all that work into it? Why don't you just see and that's it? Don't do anything. Why do you try to analyze everything? I am starting
to pay attention to that as well, Jesse.
You're trying to analyze everything and figure things out. You're trying to figure out this is a voice, that a voice, this is a guy, that's a guy. Why are you doing that? You're not going to be able to figure that out on your own. It has to be revealed to you.
Well, that's kind of the revelation I got.
I know, but why are you trying to figure all those things out? Why don't you just relax and watch? That's all you need to do.
All right. Well, I hope that he shows me more of what that means, because I want that. That's all I can do about that, Jesse. I don't know.
but what I want to encourage you to stop doing, do what you want, of course, but to stop doing is stop having a conversation in your head about the voices and about this or that. You're still communicating with the devil. You're fellowshipping with the devil. When you're having a conversation and you're trying to figure all this out, you can't figure it out.
I know that in my head I can't figure it out.
It's not in our power to figure out anything. If you see that this thing is going on inside your head, if you want to say for a while that that's not me, that's not my voice, that's fine, because you're disassociating with it, disidentifying with it. But eventually you won't even have to say that, right? But just remind yourself, that's not me. Those are not my voices. Those are not my feelings. And then I
do that.
Yeah, that's all you need. That's all you need to do. Don't be having conversations about it.
Funny that you're saying. I'm like, okay. I'm like eagerly listening.
Because you're welcoming the truth. And when you welcome the truth like that, it is changing you. It is changing. You're not fighting against the truth. You welcome it. You want it. And you'll be fine.
I'm getting tired of fighting. It's tiring.
So lay your weapon down.
Yeah. And all right, so I'm gonna try that this week. But I did try the one where you were like, don't make the phone call or don't do that.
Yeah. When the thought said make the call, don't make it, because it's just another distraction, so you don't see it and overcome it.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Jesse. Appreciate you as always.
You're welcome. Well, listen, Adrian, I want to encourage you to just relax. Don't worry. Don't think that it's not working, because that's a lie. Don't think that it is working. That's a lie. Just relax and watch and go about your day. And if you do get caught up and you find yourself compensating with it, just relax, let it pass. Don't judge yourself on that. And don't say, oh, no, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. Just relax and let go. You need to completely let go. lay your weapon down and walk away, right? And just watch
Okay.
and let life happen. It's happening for you. It's happening. And that's why Satan is working overtime to confuse you in the imagination, because he knows that it's working. He doesn't want to depart from you, and he's doing everything he can to try to keep you confused and getting some type of reaction from you.
Right.
And so just relax and don't, just relax. Don't worry. All worries is not of God either. It's from your imagination, which is of the devil. And just relax. Really, just relax and let the thoughts come and go, pass through. Like you're on the freeway, the cars are passing by. And when the pain comes, let the pain
Right.
just pass through too, and know that it's not you. And you'll be fine. You're doing fine. Just relax.
I appreciate the encouragement at the end. Really do. Thank you so much.
And don't try to figure it out. Is it God or not? Is this what that is? And that's what that is. That's just communicating with the devil. You don't need to try to figure. You can't figure out, first of all. As
Right.
you're overcoming, and I'm telling you this as a witness. It's not something somebody said or I just believe it. This I know. As you're overcoming the darkness, your mind is becoming clear. You want a clear mind, and it is happening. The clouds are passing through, and you'll be fine. You're going to be fine. Just relax.
I appreciate it. All right, Jesse.
Okay.
Thank you.
And
Take care.
And stay
Have a
with the
great
prayer.
show.
Stay with the
I will.
prayer. And if the devil tell you, oh, you're not doing it right. You're not doing it long enough. You're not doing it this way or that. All lies still. Let that pass. That's not from God either.
Okay.
And
All
ju-
right.
And just watch. The voices are the thoughts that you're observing.
Right. I just got that, actually. All right. Thank you.
You're on your way. Just relax. You'll be fine.
All right. I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
It's good to hear from you, too.
Nice to hear. Well, nice to talk to you as always. All right. Have a great show.
You too now.
Be well, everyone. Bye-bye.
Right on. Okay. Andres out of North Carolina. Andres, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
What's going on, Jess?
Hey, man.
How you doing?
All is well. How about you?
I'm doing, well, all is well. I would say good, but it ain't so good, but I'm standing.
What's not good?
Well, kids again, you know me, same old thing. But before I get to that, I want to have a question first before I kind of dive into, what I want to talk about. When you say playing God, do you mean like what do you actually mean about that?
When you get angry at yourself or others, you're playing God. You're judging. You're making decisions. You think you're better or less. You're playing God. And as long as you play God, you won't know God.
Okay.
So playing God
much,
is whenever you get angry about anything with anyone or even with yourself, you're playing God. You're judging.
Okay. So pretty much not standing still.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Absolutely, man.
Okay, so that doesn't mean that you still won't feel those thoughts and just all the stuff that'll come hunt you in the midst of all that, right?
When you do feel those things, those thoughts and the pain that come with it, relax in it. It's not you and it's not from God. Let it pass through so you can be done with it. Eventually, you won't have them at all.
Okay. Yeah, so again, like I always say, I think I'm on the right path with that. I guess it's just like I always say, the kids is always the kids with me. Just dealing with something that I never thought that I'd have to deal with one of my son's mothers. Going through court, she done went out and filed assault on a female and domestic violence charges on me when she was the aggressor. When she was actually the aggressor, she showed up to my house unannounced and got aggressive. I'm the one that called the police, You know, and I actually got her arrested.
Nice.
You know, and she's being charged with a felony count of breaking and entering and 2 misdemeanors.
What the?
Yeah, man. And you know, my daddy was pretty much a woman beater. You know, but he used to always he always tell me to make sure I'm the one that called the police.
Yep.
So I called the police on her, and in retaliation, she went down and filed some bogus charges on me. Got me a lawyer. I guess her lawyer and my lawyer gonna work some things out, and she probably gonna end up getting probably probation or something. But when you say, you always say, don't fight with the mothers through court. That's probably like one thing that I have to give a little pushback on.
Okay.
But I understand why you say it, because it really don't bring peace. I'm gonna be honest. I have custody agreements and everything, and she still act like this. So it don't bring peace. So I can understand why you're saying it. But to me, just walking away and not putting up some type of fight for my son as well, that won't bring peace either.
Why not?
Well, like I said, man, you know, it's just the simple fact that that's my son.
But why wouldn't that bring peace, though?
I guess because I ain't strong enough to walk away from my son like that.
Right.
I'm not.
And why?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
And if you
not strong enough.
If you don't do it, how will you become stronger?
I guess that's a good question. I don't know, but I don't know. Because
it's like having to face your mama, right? You have fear and with the idea of having to go and forgive mama, but once you did it, you became stronger in that area.
That's true. That's true, because now my mama got a lot of respect for me.
Uh-huh.
But you know, I get them on weekends and I get them on summers, you know. But I guess that's what I settle for now, you know.
Yeah.
And I look at that as walking away, because at first I told her, you know, at first I was reaching for way more than that.
What is it about you that you are willing to cut the baby in half?
Because I think over time, because this what happened to me, I look at how I grew up, and I don't really want to go into that, but I just think that if I can plant seeds in him while he's young, up until he gets where he understands, then that'll just improve the likelihood of him at least gravitating toward the truth in life, as opposed to him just being with his mother 100%.
And
why do you think that?
Because I see her, and I see how I grew up. I just had when I was young, I had small injections of my father. You know, just small injections, and that's something that kept me trying to constantly gravitate back towards him. And to be honest, Jesse, look, I see it with my 9-year-old as well. Like, as opposed to me never being there. So that leaves a huge void. I'd rather have a half of a void as opposed to a whole void. And so I think over time, that half a void can get filled once they get older and start experiencing life, because they'll know that they have a father who really care about them, as opposed to, well, I ain't never had a daddy, so I'm not going to really worry about it. I'm just going to worry about mama. And then I think that just, you understand what I'm saying? It's hard to explain it, but do you kind of understand what I'm saying?
Why do you trust the lie over the truth?
Why do I trust the lie over the truth?
Yes.
Well, in regards to my kids, I just look at myself as some sort of hope. And I wouldn't necessarily say that that's a lie.
But why are you believing those thoughts about the outcome of your son or both of your kids? Why you believe the thoughts? Do you think they're from God or you?
No. I know it comes from the imagination.
And so why are you believing anything about the imagination rather than letting go and let God's will be done.
Okay.
No, that was a question.
That's absolutely a good question, Jesse. And I think it's because I'm doubting.
You are, and it's about you. It's not even about your son. Even with the woman, it's about her. It's not about the child. With you, it's about you and not the child. I feel, it'll make me feel better thinking this. It's all about you. You're not trusting you're not working on you and seeing what the truth will do on your behalf.
Okay.
Just because that happened to you, your parents were not seeking the truth. They didn't want to, from what I can tell or what I heard from you so far, they didn't want it. And so you're still emotionally caught up and you're willing to cut the baby in half thinking that that's going to help, and it's not. You're fighting with the devil inside you and outside you by fighting with this woman. And things are not getting better. All you've done is by fighting with the devil, you're giving the devil life inside of you and inside of her. And the war is getting worse. It's not getting better.
So pretty much sacrifice the baby.
You sacrifice the lie. You're not sacrificing the baby. You're sacrificing your own ego.
Man, and like I said, man, I don't know. I just want to say I can't jump on that saying they're so quick.
Right.
Because I don't think it's a lie. I don't think it's a lie that I'm fighting for my kid, just so he can know that his father is here.
But how do you know he won't know that? By you working on overcoming the fallen state and reconnection to the Father, how do you know the thing's going to go the way that you think they're going to go for your son?
I don't know.
Because right now, you're not you, but the spirit of the devil is making things go the way that you don't want them to go for your son. Because the fact that this woman going to be with him part-time and you're with the baby part-time because you cut the baby in half, she's still going to screw the baby up. And then you're not at peace. So when the baby's with you, the baby's not going to feel peace from you or the mama. Because you have cut the baby in half.
I think I am at peace. I really do.
Well, why are you fighting with the devil then?
I don't think I'm fighting because I had. Well, I'm not gonna sit there and call myself an angel, right? Because obviously I had a child out of wedlock, but of course I'm in battle with his mother because like I said, Jesse, if I was to leave my son with that woman, totally, me knowing that woman, that would destroy that man, that baby.
I know what you mean, and you're right about that. But the difference is you're now overcoming evil, returning to good. What makes you think that good won't resolve that, make it go away that you can't even imagine?
Because I'm seeing the way that my son is being handled now. I'm watching his mother. This is happening right before my eyes, by the way. I'm seeing his mother. I'm seeing how my son is right now. And I would have some hope if I saw his mother growing out of some of the stuff that she's doing. But she's growing more and more into anger. She's growing more and more into vengeance. And it's transferring directly to my son.
Right.
When I get him, I see it. So
what do you do about it when you see it in him now?
I deal with. So when he come over, because my son is only 18 months. This one, this one here is only 18 months.
Oh, okay.
But I'm seeing it very small. So I just do what I know. I don't yell at my son. I don't spank him. I don't snatch him up. As a matter of fact, when my son see me, he lights up.
Yeah.
He get a different type of energy about himself. He laughs more, and he's more in that baby playing mode, as opposed to with her. He's more lazy. He's more aggravated. He's more fussy. And so that's what I'm seeing. But I know he's 18 months, and I know I'm doubting too. I'm basing a lot of things off the past, and but it's kind of hard not to be proactive in a situation like this. It's very tough.
It would be hard if you were not tied to your thoughts and emotions about it. You would see the perfect way to deal with it.
I can agree. I can agree. I sit down and I reflect, and sometimes I just want to, but again, when I see my son, man, it just be like, okay, this is my child. I brought him here, and to be honest, again, if I got to show him that, hey, your daddy was here, because if I got to show him that your daddy was here, so he can know where to gravitate back to when life gets tough, I take that. I'll take it, because I knew where to go. When I got 20, I knew where to go. When I saw the lies in my mother, and I told you this before, like a couple years ago, I did the forgiving before I called you. You just showed me how to do it better and with more patience. So when I saw the anger in my mother, I knew how far back to go, and that's when my dad was there, because I remember my dad when I was young, Yeah. So maybe I'm trying to provide the same outcome. I don't know. And you're right. You got a lot of valuable points to what you're saying today. And I guess, and over time, they'll probably grow to where I can see it, because I know you've been there. You're a much wiser man than I am. And, maybe I'll go into that point. But right now, I'm really just not there.
Are you doing the silent prayer every morning, every night?
No, sir.
What the?
No, sir. Well, hold on. Whoa, don't what the? because I'm just to be quite honest, man, I'm still aware. You might not believe it.
I'm not saying you're not or that you are. Don't worry about it. I'm not doubting it at all.
Okay. I'm still calm. And you can for the past 2 weeks, you can't imagine what I've been through with this woman. And just with life, period. And I'm still putting one foot in front of the other patiently. I'm still doing what's in front of me with patience. And I'm not looking for compliments. I'm not looking for, Andreas, you handled this so well. I'm not looking for none of that. I just do what's in front of me. Do I get my silent times? Do I get my silent moments throughout the day? Absolutely. I get my silent moments. I get my reflecting moments throughout the day. Yes, I do. So, no, sir, I'm not doing it every morning, every night.
Why are you so mentally and emotionally involved in dealing with this situation?
Kids, my son. My son, it ain't the woman. It's my son.
But why are you so mentally and emotionally involved in it?
Okay, good question. And I know that answer, because I say it all the time. I just don't want him to be a delinquent. I don't want him to be a delinquent. Pretty much that. I don't want him to be a delinquent out here.
And why not deal with that? And I understand what you're saying, but why not deal with it without the mental and emotion being involved, period?
Never really thought about it. I'm not really there yet, to be quite honest, because I'm just not there yet. I'm not there yet. You're
not where?
Here. I'm not at that point in my life where I can deal with this child here without the emotion.
But this is giving you the opportunity to do that. Why not take advantage of the opportunity to do it? The situation is allowing you to deal with it without being emotionally and mentally connected.
Okay. All right, that'll be something to put in my back pocket. Maybe once everything I'm dealing with now gets settled, that might come about. I think I've done enough suffering to know, and I put up a pretty good fight to let her know that I'm not going anywhere. So maybe after a while I can remove some emotions and stuff out of from it, and
But why
So
wait until after a while? You can do it at this very point right now. Right now. You don't have to wait for after a while. You can do it now if you just let the mental and emotion go, let it pass, and do it and fight the battle. If you're going to fight it in the light rather in the darkness.
Okay, and how do you fight it in the light?
Just by being aware, stand in the moment. Don't worry about what you're going to do tomorrow about it or yesterday or this or that. Don't focus on her. Just stay present. Don't leave the present and just deal with what's happening right in the moment. You'll be fighting in the light, and you won't be emotionally or mentally attached to it, and it will not go wrong then. You can't go wrong. And you will see that nothing is happening to you. You ain't never been through anything. You ain't never going to go through anything. And this is not you going through it. This is you overcoming evil.
Yes, sir. I can agree. I agree.
But you got to welcome this moment for insight rather than thinking you're going through something. You got to beat this woman, and you defeat evil with good. You defeat it with the light by not being a part of it.
Okay. Well, again, I don't want you to think, because actually I don't want you to think that I'm super beat down about this.
I'm not thinking that. I'm not thinking anything. I'm telling you about thoughts. So why would I be thinking that? All thoughts are all lies all the time. We're just conversating. I'm not thinking anything other than what you're telling me. I'm listening. Okay,
cool. Because I'm pretty much, like I said, I'm pretty much handling. Am I looking into the future? Yeah, I am. But I'm thinking.
That's why I'm telling you, don't think about the future. It doesn't exist. And if you fight this in the light, all the things that you think may or may not happen to my son, and this happened to me, and this happened to that, the light will change the course of your son's life as well if you trust the light. But if you're looking in the future, you're looking at the lie, and you're fighting against evil with evil.
Okay.
You're trying to prevent things from happening rather than allowing things to happen.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay. That's a valid point. That's a valid point. That's a valid point. And that's why I was calling to. That's why I started out with the question about playing God.
Yeah.
Because when I think of playing God, I think of trying to trick God. You know. Oh, I'm good, but then I do something bad. You know, playing God. You know, that's how I was looking at it.
All right.
You know, trying to be sneaky, quote unquote, trying to be sneaky. So, but playing God is actually like getting in the role of God, huh? Like stepping into. Okay. I was looking at it in a different way, and that's why I asked that question.
Right.
And, that's just to wrap up my conversation right there.
And so, and again, just stay present. Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about what will or will not happen to your son. You trust the truth, and the truth will handle everything. It will work out in ways that the truth, the lie has no power. It roars like a lion, but it's a liar. And it has no power at all. It only has deception if you believe it. And so it has you thinking about what's going to happen to your son, and this happened to this. Yes, you see the evil. That when you can see what's working through you, you're going to definitely see that in that woman. But seeing it, you don't have to be affected by it because it's in her. It's not in you. And
yes, sir.
You have the light in you, and the light will fight for your. And wait, I can't even find the words to tell you, man. It would never go the way that the lie is telling you that it's going to go.
Okay.
It would be remarkable.
And these are words from a wise man, and I listen to. I do not reject wisdom.
Right. Same here. Yeah.
I don't reject wisdom at all. So I'm listening to everything you're saying, and you know, a lot of people get upset. Every morning I had a radio show playing in the morning while I clean up my house. While I do my daily duties, and sometimes I have some friends over. You know, I cut hair in my house, and they they don't know that when you speak from a spiritual standpoint and a wisdom standpoint and not book knowledge. And so it's hard for them to, and I ain't trying to force you on them. It's just something that I have playing in my house instead of the radio or some music or something like that. And they reject wisdom, but they take in intelligence, like something from
the intellect,
a book. Yeah, they feed the intellect, but reject wisdom.
Yeah.
But I really appreciate it. I knew that you was gonna steer me in the right direction today. That's why I kind of called.
Before we go, how is your other son doing? The older one.
Oh, so my other son, he's 9. He's 9 years old, and he's doing excellent. He come down here on Friday. Actually, he'll stay with me for a month. I just commissioned in the Army as a second lieutenant. I told you I was going through that process.
Right.
So I just finished my process, and now I'm a second lieutenant.
Right on.
And you know, I told you the last time. I think I told you when we had a counseling session that you know, I had another child. So you know, it ain't like that. I'm just doing the best out here, but you know, I put myself in these situations.
Yeah.
So you know, I had 3 sons.
Real men make boys first. Alpha male.
Yeah, 3 sons, and I got a 9-year-old, 18 months, and my youngest one is 9 months. So I'm going through something to teach me something about myself. Believe me.
Absolutely.
But I'm standing firm. I take my licks like a man, and I keep it trucking.
Nice. Well, it's good to hear from you, man. Stay with it and practice dealing with this situation and all situations in the present. Greg, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse, how are you today?
All is well, sir. How are you?
What do you say? Still alive, but I'm barely breathing.
I'm still alive, but I'm barely breathing. I pray to God that I do believe in.
I had a couple more like real hardcore addictions in life to quit, and I quit them. And phew, that body pain is something. I mean, it is unreal, Jesse. Now I know why people run from it, because it about drive you crazy. It hurts so bad.
Yeah, you have to have a really made-up mind that you're ready to overcome your hell in order to deal with the death of the ego.
Is that pain of the ego Satan's spirit dying?
Yes. Absolutely. It's not you. It's departing from your human body, and it doesn't want to. And most people don't want it to either, because they think that it's them. They have taken another false identity and call it their own, and they feel like they are dying, and they're not ready for it.
Well, it's definitely once you let that pain happen, and I mean, I've had, like last night, just to give you an example, I laid down in the bed, and I mean, the anxiety was going through me like I'd never felt. And I'm talking about, in the more that comes on, you know, Satan's voice gets louder and louder and louder, you know.
Yeah.
But I remember an interview I watched maybe last night, or it was the night before maybe, and you told this guy, you said, when Satan knows he's losing the battle, he'll send his demons such as depression and anxiety, because he knows that he's losing the battle with you. So he's going to try to put you in so much pain that you'll run back to something to take you out of facing it, so that you'll go unconscious again.
Absolutely. And he'll scream at you, "Where's your God now? Why is God not helping you?" And
oh yeah, he does.
And then if that doesn't
work,
work,
he tells me constantly, "This ain't working, man. You need to give this up." Look,
yes.
I mean, because some days, Jesse, I'm so exhausted in my days, you know, from the body, you know, feeling exhausted. I know it's only God getting me through it, because I sure as heck couldn't do this, you know, because it's, and I notice once you'll try everything not to feel that body pain, so then Satan tries to interpret the truth you've heard, and then he makes you try to figure out stuff, and then you're lost in your head again.
Yes, absolutely.
That is absolutely mind-blowing when that happens.
It is crazy. It's something else.
I can honestly see why people's minds drive them crazy, you know. And mine did all my life. I just didn't. I had extreme porn addiction for 30 years, and I was running to that to try to take myself out of the. I didn't know how to deal with what I'm dealing with now, and plus, you know, I didn't know I had to face it. You know, when you would get those pains, you're looking for, you know, adrenaline rushes and dumps and all these feelings and stuff and I've become so used to just looking for a feeling in anything, whether it's good or bad or right or wrong. I've become so used to that to now just observing life and just going through it and going through the pain. It seems boring to the Satan because you're not giving him anything that he desires.
When he can make you look for the future or look for anything, as you said, he's distracting you to keep you from being quiet, being still, and overcoming it. And eventually, if you stay with it, he will leave. He has to leave your body, and he'll just go and make a home in another human body, because the devil lives in human bodies.
The hardest thing in life, Jesse, after you know, when you're a Satan like that, when you try to control your life, all your life, you know, we find ourselves, I see it in all humans, we try to control situations to get a false sense of salvation.
Yes.
So you'll think, oh, well, let me do this just right, and it feels good because I did that. Let me do this just right, and it feels good. But then when you don't do it, you feel bad.
Yep. It's all ego.
And I've been so accustomed. I mean, my ego was probably one of the worst I've ever seen. I mean, it's bad. I depended on it to live. My voices got me through my days in my head. I was always following the voice in my head because I was so unconscious to everything. The only thing I could follow is that voice.
Right on. That's right. When you're waking up now, just relax and go through it until you climb completely over the wall, and you'll be fine. You're coming out of hell. Because
all my life I've told myself I was something. You know, Satan's told my mind, and then I've believed it to where I would say, oh, I've made a lot of money this month, or oh, I bought a new car, or, you know, just material stuff that you're trying to get peace out of, but you never brings you peace.
Never, and it never will.
And you're always running to something different, and until you realize that, hey, wait a minute, there's got to be something wrong here.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I keep spending money, and I'm living above my means, and I'm working myself to death for material things, and I'm going to die with no peace.
Yeah. Joseph, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, what's up, Jesse?
Hey, Joseph, how you?
I'm all right. I just I'm the dude that you had like a Skype call with like a couple days ago.
Oh yes. That was an amazing conversation, by the way.
Yeah, I really do appreciate you checking up on me. I did need to talk to somebody. I guess my question is, I don't know. I have two questions. One of them is about my dad, but I don't know if I'm judging my dad. And I was like moving out all my stuff yesterday because I'm moving into my apartment now, and he's like trying to give me some type of advice, and I got annoyed, and I told him basically just to be quiet and to not give me any advice, and then I just kind of like shut him down, and but I got annoyed with him that he was even giving me advice, and I don't want to be thinking that I'm like going down this path and I'm growing, but I'm really not, because I just didn't know if I know that if I'm annoyed, I know that after the fact when I calm down, I know that the annoyance isn't me, but I just got annoyed with him, and I basically just told him to shut up, and I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? I just don't want to be wrong. I just don't know if I judged my dad in that moment.
And your question is what?
Did I judge my dad when I got annoyed with him and I told him to be quiet when he was like trying to?
Whether you did or not, now that you have gone and forgiven him, just notice it and don't have a conversation with the devil about it. If you got annoyed, just let it pass, notice it, but don't judge yourself. Don't try to figure it out. Seeing it is enough, and seeing it without judgment will cause you to overcome it because it's not you. It's not you at all.
Okay.
So don't put energy into trying to figure it out. Don't put energy into judging it because all that is from darkness. Just if you did, just notice it. It'll pass if you don't put any energy into discussing it with yourself or trying to figure it out, judging yourself or anything. Because you can get into thoughts, and all thoughts are all lies all the time. And that's what Greg was talking about. The devil's trying to pull you back into thinking. Don't let that happen. Let it pass.
Well, I guess that kind of leads into my second question is that, I realized that I didn't truly believe, and I guess still now, if I didn't really truly, I know now that I don't believe in God per se, in the sense that I still with the whole thought thing is that I still, if I truly believe that all thoughts were all lies, I wouldn't be, confused in my thoughts, but I still am. And I noticed about myself this morning doing the silent prayer. It was like I was trying to figure out my confusion, and I realized that me trying to figure that out wasn't I was still believing in thoughts. So that's why I guess why I was thinking about the whole situation with my dad is that I thought that I was going down this right path, but it wasn't even me. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Is that
and that's beautiful to know that you do not believe in God. Nobody believes in God. Those people who claim to believe in God, they don't believe in God. They believe about God. So it's good that you see that and just see it, let it pass. Don't judge yourself about that either. You are becoming aware. The Father is giving you a clear mind, and you will know Him. Not believe in Him, but know Him. Believe in Him is just intellectual.